Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a moment of silence, please? Roll call, Meg.
Councilor Coast.
Here.
Councilor Strata.
Here.
Councilor Shamp.
Here.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Here.
Councilor Sturts.
Here.
Councilor Fry.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
We have approval of the prior meeting's minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Chamberlain and second by Councilor Fry. Councilor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Councilor Fry.
Yes.
Councilor Sturts.
Yes.
Councilor Shamp.
Yes.
Councilor Strata.
Yes.
Councilor Coast.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
I'd like to open the public hearing for a request for zoning change. We have a request for a zoning change for south 26 feet of lot number 100 at 835 3rd Street. Do we have any discussion? I see nobody out there. Council?
That is simply to change the grassy lot from the commercial of one side to the residential to a house
Yes.
next door.
Mm-hmm.
And like the only thing I was lost on that was they kept being talk about parking lot. I was trying to figure out what that had to do with the zoning change, or does it have anything to do?
The business on Linfoot, it would be behind, which is on corner there.
They applied for a lot split.
Okay.
And to approve the lot split, we want to make sure that the parcel is one zoning. The lot split that was proposed would make it partial zoning. So there'd be two zonings on one parcel.
And then they're just going to repave the parking lot after that split.
I have no idea what they
Yeah, there's
proposed
some
for
parking
that.
lot talking, that's why I was lost.
Okay, yeah, this
I
is
didn't see
just,
that having to do with any of the zoning changes, so as long as it's just that changing the grassy area from commercial to residential so it can be a part of the house, that's fine. I just wanted to be clear on it.
That's my understanding as well.
Anything else? Okay.
Nope.
Any more discussion? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. I don't think we have any names of individuals wishing to address council. So we'll start with committee reports. Park Board.
Park Board, we did meet on the second Tuesday of the month, as we normally do, July 14. Park Board members, all were present except for David Carroll. Kelly, Paul, Bill, and Randy were present. Dave brought us up to speed on a bridge washout around Homecoming Park, and I think that's still a project to be done, I think. Mentioned that the Wauseon Rotary Club is working on a sort of a nature trail, wetland back behind Homecoming Park. Dave continues to recommend good communication between Park Board and Tree Commission, and I think that's improved greatly over the last few years. Bill Drummer heard a lot of positive feedback from folks who attended the baseball tournament out at Biddle Park and the new diamonds to the north end. And Park Board members will be helping at the Wauseon Homecoming, tending to the ticket wheel for a few hours. And Paul Harmon, a Park Board member, asked about blacktopping Biddle Park, the parking lot at Biddle Park, whether or not that was on the to-do list or not. And we sort of asked Dave Murray to go ahead and start putting together a pricing package for the parking lot out there to maybe that budget time that can be discussed, and maybe be a multiple phase project. And that was the completion of our meeting then. No action for today.
Shane, I got a question about the Rotary Nature Trail, the wetland.
Yeah.
I know it's been presented to the Tree Commission, it's been presented to the Park Board, and I don't really know how these kind of things work, but is that something that Rotary's just going to start doing, and then the city's going to take over the property?
Yeah, right now it's privately owned. And eventually, I don't know where that's gonna land in the county or city. Sounds like it's leaning towards the city, right, Dennis? Yeah, sort of like, yeah.
I guess my question is, it hasn't really been presented to council, and I don't know, are we just gonna, you know, I'm not saying I'm for or against it, but I'm just kind of wondering, the maintenance and the care of that property is just another added burden to the
Yeah.
Public Works Department. I guess I'd like to see some discussion between Rotary possibly, and City Council about it.
Sure. Yeah. You know, right now with it being privately owned, you know,
Well, talk is certainly doable, and I don't pretend to have all the answers,
Yeah.
but the discussions that I've been a part of, the private individual is desirous in making it a nature trail, and then eventually donating it, most likely to us, but to us or Fulton County. It would also qualify as a wetlands. And once the trail through the property is established, there really wouldn't be anything else. I mean, it'll just be maintaining a path through there for folks. Maybe some signage, you know, identifying species and so on.
And I'm not saying that I'm opposed to it.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm just thinking of, like, the woods that the school owns, when the Emerald Ash Borer hit that, it became a hazardous situation.
Sure.
For anybody to be in there, and, you know, will we encounter that? Hopefully never, but that isn't always a possibility, that there can be some large expenses in the future for something like that, I guess is what I'm thinking.
There is a possibility, because right here it says it might have to expand the parking lot, so, I mean,
yeah.
that's something that should be
I guess I'd like to
discussed.
see some discussion about it.
Yeah, and Rotary's sensitive about the tree issues within that wooded area. There's definitely gonna have to be some attention to the trees, try to remove the dangerous trees that might affect the walking path, so. It is a project the Rotary's taking on, and we'll be fundraising for it. And yeah, I agree with you, Rick, some discussion between the two entities would probably be best.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Thanks.
was under the understanding also that the wetlands, according to Lucas County, that isn't there some kind of grant funding out there or something, that the more wetlands that you have and host, that the county also will receive some form of granting for that? That they were looking into that too.
It might be something that Soil and Water would.
I think that they were looking into
Have
that
information
round two, that possibly would come back into play with this also. So there were different options, that maybe that could be something that would, you know, be discussed for possibility of funding anything that needed to be put into play, whether it be parking lot or whatever else that needs to be put in from our end. So there's a lot, I agree, needs to be discussion before anything moves forward on this.
Yeah, the Rotary's moving forward, it's just, you know.
I think it's a phenomenal idea.
I do too.
We're getting
I do too.
free land and Rotary's building it, so
Yeah.
if it costs us a parking lot, we're getting the better of the deal.
Well,
And
it's
it's,
just,
yeah, and speaking with Dave Murray during Park Board, he seemed confident that would be fairly low maintenance once it's in place, so, yeah.
Well, other than what Rick cited as far as, you know, unknown tree
Yeah.
infestations or disease.
and I thought they were talking about putting some sort of a boardwalk on it to where people could walk eventually, or not
Yeah.
even that, or some form
Boardwalk or some sort of
of nature walk, trail.
low-maintenance
Mhm.
surface through there, perhaps. It just depends on the layout and so on.
And, you know, I don't know, Dave Murray mentioned during Park Board that the removal of Linfoot Street and the grindings from that might coincide good timing with the path out there too, so
Maybe.
it's just something he threw out there. That's all from Park Board.
I had a question on the culverts. 2 culverts, we lost one. Is there a reason for 2 new ones on that?
The one at Homecoming near the western edge of the, well, it's on the western edge of the north-south part of the walking trail. I didn't know there was another one.
The public works will be putting in 2 new culverts when weather is permitting. I just thought we lost one.
Are they putting 2 culverts side by side? Is that?
Maybe that's what he meant.
Reinforce it maybe better? Okay. I just was curious if we were
Well,
putting in
just the
another
one location,
Okay, that's
as
it.
far as I know.
That's it. Great. Okay. Thank you, Shane. Department head reports. David?
Well, we're moving forward with a lot of different things right now as it concerns community development block grant, downtown revitalization grant, the building business owner private rehab. Just received formally documentation from the state of Ohio ODSA office, their approval for the release of funds. So those funds are now available to start moving these folks through that program. I do have 3 applicants that are moving through right now. Reached out this morning to about 15 others, sending out the commitment application again to those folks and letting them know that we have the state approval for the release of those funds. There's still a couple local hurdles that we'll have to get through to get that stuff going, but it's moving forward. Also with Sarah's Garden, if you've noticed that a lot of their playground equipment is established there. It all looks very good. So we're pursuing with help still with that playground project, phasing out with fencing, lighting, and security cameras. If you recall, back in 2014, we appropriated, I believe, $75,000 from the city revolving loan fund. The county also appropriated some money out of their county revolving loan fund too. So we're working with those 3 components of that project to move forward and help those folks out too. So I think we're through those big hurdles too. There were some eligibility questions that came up earlier this year, but we've gotten over that. So it's just a matter of getting the application down to the state, which is complete. I just need to submit it. That should be a quick turnaround, and then hopefully within the next few weeks we can have that money released for those folks to move forward with that. That's all I have.
Rick?
No major emergencies to report on. Working on contracts issues for the next round of EMS. We'll be starting that this week with the commissioners and preparing for homecoming and Fulton County Fair, which is just around the corner.
My goodness. Can't
Is
believe
the
it's
county
getting-
commissioners doing any sort of a study like they had promised them last year?
I really don't know.
Okay, Bill, still filling in.
Yes, filling in for chief. The police department has applied for a drug use prevention grant. This is being sponsored by the Ohio Attorney General's office. The grant will pay for about $1,600 or $1,700. It's not big, but it'll help in the elementary and junior and high schools with drug prevention talks and sponsoring that. And we also go out into the community with our detective, Kevin Chitton, and Sergeant Brian Courtney. They give drug talks to the people in open meetings throughout the county. So it'll help get us some reimbursement for that.
Okay. And Dennis?
It's been a busy month for Fulton County Economic Development Commission. Their monthly meeting was held at Pettysville High School on the 7th. There was another gathering of executive committee folks on the 13th with relationship to the Nature Fresh project in Delta, and we actually attended a meeting between Delta Council and York Township trustees as they tried to work towards an amicable agreement for annexation. And then on the 15th, we had a workforce development meeting at the middle school, which was very informative about current employment laws and issues and the state's availability of signing folks up to job seekers and job posters on their website. The Public Works guys have the sidewalk at Reard Park completed. This, you'll recall, is moving the sidewalk back so that those parking areas that are adjacent to the north side of Elm Street are going to be much more effective. We've already talked about the culvert being replaced in Homecoming Park. Hopefully we'll have a dry enough stretch this week where the guys can get in there and do that. Similarly, we have not been able to put up the remaining sunshades at Biddle Park. because it's been too wet, so hopefully they can get in there. And somewhere in that mix, as far as concrete goes, no pun intended, they'll be moving out to Elm Street for the sidewalk extension out across the road from the cemetery. Linfoot Street continues to move forward. Our pre-construction meeting will be next Wednesday, the 29th, at 10:30 in the morning here. ODOT contractors, all of the consultants and so on will be available for that. And we have not yet scheduled the time for the neighborhood meeting, but that will occur. I won't let the project start before that happens, so we will get that in. Wastewater plant project is nearly complete. Hopefully we'll have fully functioning equipment as far as the digester lid is concerned before the end of this week. They're scheduled to come back Wednesday to do what hopefully will be one of the final tests and a little touch-up paint, so got our fingers crossed there. That's all I have for now.
Thank you. Jamie?
Today I posted the job description for the assistant finance director, Marcia, who will be retiring at the end of September, so that's posted internally right now. And I also got word that our state auditors are wrapping up the audit, so it looks like it will be done a little sooner than last year. That's all I have tonight.
And Tom is on vacation.
Yes, Tom is on vacation. He did give me an update before he left, and he informs me that he did attend a Records Commission meeting last Wednesday. He is continuing to work on several real estate matters, various issues. He's also working with Tom Hall on some tax abatement issues with some prospective, or rather local business owners. And lastly, he is looking forward to working with Mayor Huner regarding updating the revised job descriptions.
Which should be coming soon.
And that's all that I have.
Okay, moving on to legislation. We have a lot of first reading. Resolution 2015-21. A resolution submitting to the electors of the city the question of the additional 2.6 mil tax levy for the purpose of parks and recreation purposes and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and declare an emergency on Resolution 2015-21.
Second?
Motion moved by Councilor Coast and second by Councilor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor Shamp?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage. Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Shamp and second by Councilor Sturts. Councilor Shamp?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, Resolution 2015-21 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Thank you. Resolution 2015-22. Amend Ordinance 2014-16, Annual Appropriation Ordinance by authorizing the Director of Finance to increase or decrease certain line account appropriations within the various funds listed within the year of 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Shamp and second by Councilor Coast. Is there any discussion? Councilor Shamp?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Estrada?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, Resolution 2015-22 passes and is now in effect.
Ordinance 2015-9, providing for the issuance and sale of $1,350,000 of notes and in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of improving the municipal water system, for acquiring, constructing, and installing a water line and municipal water treatment plant by constructing an additional treatment building and lagoon, acquiring additional treatment tanks, a high surface pump, and additional piping, making other necessary improvements, and declaring an emergency.
Phew.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I was interrupted by
Sorry,
I'd make a
I
motion
didn't
to
know.
suspend the rules and declare an emergency on
I second.
2015-9.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Estrada. Is there any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Sturts. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yep.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2015-9 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Ordinance 2015-10, amending the codified ordinance chapter 1117, establishment of districts and maps, and amending the official zoning map and declaring an emergency.
I move we suspend the rules and declare an emergency on ordinance number 2015-10.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Estrada. Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2015-10 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Second reading, resolution 2015-20, authorizing the mayor to transfer the 4 ball diamonds south of Harmon Field to the Wauseon Exempted Village Schools Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor, I kind of lost track.
Yes. I'll go next.
Okay, Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
He made the motion.
He
yeah.
started it. I want to vote twice, yeah. We can't get rid of that rule.
Right? Yes.
Counselor Fry?
There, I knew I'd get to vote twice.
I think it was unanimous.
Phew. We're almost there, Meg.
Okay, we're almost there. 6 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2015-20 passes on second reading.
Thank you. Nothing under third reading. Do we have anything for new business? Anybody over here? Wow. Okay. Can we have a motion for approval of the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Estrada. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Fry for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good meeting, good meeting.